Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, I have completed the explanation of economic chapter number 2, People as Resource. Even I have given you notes of the same chapter. After the detailed explanation of the chapter and notes, hope all of you are able to solve NCERT exercise from your textbook. Today I am here with the explanation of some important question of the chapter. Today I will provide some additional question for your understanding. Question number 1, define human capital and human capital formation. Answer. When investment is made in the form of education, training and medical care, the quality of the population improves and becomes a great asset. It is known as human capital. With the help of education, training and medical care, person become an asset for the economy. Education, training and health facility improves the quality of the population. When the investment is made in the existing human resource for further development by becoming more educated and healthy is termed as human capital formation. Human being is a resource, but for the further development of human being, education and health facilities are provided. Investment in education and health facility of the people for the further development, it is known as human capital formation. Question number 2. How are the children of educated parents are different from those of uneducated ones? Can we see any difference between the children of educated parents and uneducated parents? Answer. Children of educated parents are also educated because their parents know the value of education. Educated parents prefer to provide education facility to their children because they know the value of education. They have the value of education. On the other hand, children of uneducated parents, they are uneducated because their parents, they do not know the value of education. Educated parents maintain the health and nutritional standards of their children. They provide health facility, medical facility, even they take care of nutritional standard for their children. On the other hand, uneducated parents, they do not maintain nutritional standards because of the lack of awareness. They do not know the value of nutritional food for their children. That's why, due to this lack of awareness, they do not maintain nutritional standard for their children. Educated parents, they are getting better job because of investment in the form of education. On the other hand, the children of uneducated parents, they are employed in household work or low paid work because they do not have asset in the form of education. This way we can say that these are the difference between children of educated parents and uneducated parents. Question number 3. Mention any 3 features of national health policy. To raise the standard of the health of the people, citizen of the country, Government of India has introduced health policy. Answer. The 3 features of national health policies are as follows. Number 1, it aims at improving the accessibility of healthcare and family welfare. The main aim of national health policy to provide accessibility of healthcare and family welfare to all the citizens of the country. Number 2, it aims at improving the nutritional service with special focus on underprivileged segment of the population. National health policy aim to improve the nutritional standard of the citizen of the country. When people are getting nutritional food, so their health standard automatically improves. Number 3, it improved the ratio of nurses, doctors based in country. National health policy also aim to improve the number of doctors, nurses, hospital and beds in our country. Question number 4. Why is health of people a matter of major concern for the Indian government? Answer. Health is an important determinant of quality of population and in turn affects the overall growth and development of country. As we discussed, education and health are 2 important determinants of the quality of the population. And it affects the overall development and growth of the economy of the country because healthy people can contribute more in comparison to unhealthy people. In spite of improvement in health medical facilities, decline in infant mortality rate, etc., it continues to remain matter of great concern. in our country, day by day, health facilities are improving, but still some major concern are there for the health status of the people of our country, because number of people in our country, they are not getting a safe drinking water, and they are not getting basic amenities in our country. Even per capita calorie consumption in our country is much below to the recommended level. So that's why government trying to improve the health facilities, and government tried to provide access to health facilities with targeting especially the backward people into the society. Question number 5. Describe the main features of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, SSA. The main features of the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan are: number 1, it is a significant step towards providing elementary education to all children in age group of 6 to 14 years. Government of India introduced Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan to provide free and compulsory education to the age group of 6 to 14 years of age. Number 2, it is a time-bound initiative of the central government in partnership with the state, local government and community for attaining the goal of universalization of elementary education. It is time-bound initiative with the partnership. Actually, central government started this in cooperation of state government, local government, even with the support of community to provide elementary, basic, primary education to all children in our country. In this, bridge courses and back to school camp have been introduced to increase the enrollment in elementary education. Under this scheme, government started bridge courses and back to school camp to increase the number of students in elementary education. Number 4, midday meal scheme has been also introduced to increase attendance in school and increase their nutritional status. In government school, government started midday meal. They providing midday meal to all the children to attract more number of children towards education. Government introduced midday meal with two objectives. One is to increase the number of students in school, and number 2, to improve the nutritional standard for these children. So midday meal is also the significant step. It is also the feature of SSA. Number 5, These type of policies of government could aid to the literate people, and when more number of educated people are there, so we can hope for more development, we can hope for more growth of the economy in our country. So these are the features of SSA. Question number 6. Describe different type of unemployment found in India. Dear students, in rural area we find seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment. On the other hand, in urban area, educated unemployment exists in our country. Now, what is seasonal unemployment? Seasonal unemployment means workers find works in specific season. For example, in agriculture sector, they find work only during busy agriculture season when sowing, harvesting, weeding and threshing are done. Seasonal unemployment means it is a situation when workers are not able to find work in some months during the year, especially in agriculture when plants are growing, workers are without work. Disguised unemployment. It is a situation when more number of people are working than the requirement. For example, in agriculture plot, 8 people are working and the need of the worker is only 5 people. So 3 people are working extra. If we remove these 3 people, there is no decline in the production from that plot. So we can call this as disguised unemployment. Educated unemployment. As I told you, educated unemployment especially found in urban area. This kind of unemployment we find in educated youth of our country. When educated and technically skilled workers, they are not able to find job for themselves, this situation we can call educated unemployment. The last question, explain any 5 effects of unemployment on the overall growth of economy. Number 1, it leads to wastage of manpower. When human being is in position to work, but due to the unemployment, not able to find work, not able to find a job, so it is a clear wastage of human resources, it is a clear wastage of manpower. Number 2, due to unemployment, people who are an asset for the economy, becomes a liability. Number 3, it creates feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth of the country. Because of their education and because of their good health status, they are in position to work, but due to the lack opportunity of job, lack opportunity of work, they are not getting the work. So it creates the feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. Number 4, it increased economic overload, means the dependence of unemployed on the working population. It is actually the situation working population, they are taking care of such unemployed person because they are not getting opportunity of work or to do a job. So it increase economic overload on working population. Number 5, the quality of life of an individual gets affected when they are not able to find the job, they are not able to find the work, so they are not able to fulfill their basic requirement. So quality of the life, health status of the people actually affected. So we can say that it affects the quality of life of human being. With this, I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Hope all of you are able to get the clear information from this lecture. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Khuda Hafiz.